Hey guys, welcome back to Resilient Man channel. How do you stay resilient in today's dating scene? That's the question I've got for you today. I think it's something that a lot of us men struggle with, especially in modern times, dealing with the modern women out there. And that's what I was thinking, this channel, today I'm going to share some resiliency strategies and such for staying motivated in today's dating scene. I'm going to share a couple personal stories, personal experiences that I think you'll get a chuckle out of, and some of you will probably be nodding your head and shaking. Please comment down below, share your thoughts, your experiences, and any advice you have as well. Love to see that, and like and subscribe to the page. But that's what we want to talk about today, is how do you stay resilient in today's dating scene when it is a shit show? It is tough. And, I was thinking about this and how it ties into Resilient Man channel. The purpose of this channel is for men and how to make us stronger and be ever more resilient as we deal with the challenges that we men face in society and culture today. And how can we help each other out? How can we encourage each other, advise each other, things of that nature. So with regard to dating today and staying resilient as you're going through the process, this really plays I don't know if it's maybe it's a big part for some of you guys. It's a smaller part for other of you guys. Comment down below and tell me, share with the group, is it a big deal for you, or is it just a small part of your life? I will share with me. So for me, dating and women are a small part of my focus. I look at it as a sidebar. I look at it as, yeah, I'd like to meet a nice woman, but even when I do, she is not the priority in my life. My goals that I'm working on personally, professionally, financially, physically, all these different things, that is my main focus and that is my main goal. And if you stay on your grind, if you stay on your goal and you make it about you, not in a selfish way, but kind of in a selfish way, in that you're not giving up yourself, you're not losing yourself in the process of finding companionship. So that's the way I wanted to share that first and foremost, that this is not the main priority for me, and it shouldn't be for you, quite frankly. I think a lot of guys watching this channel have probably been put through the grist mill with their relations with women in the past or at the present. And so that, I believe, a big part of becoming more resilient and stronger in yourself, in your self-worth and such, is not making the woman the priority and making you the priority. I do believe that take care of you, craft the life that you want, be the strong, resilient man that you are striving to be, and the right woman hopefully will come along. So let's get into this. So, of course, we all know, the dating scene out there. We're on dating apps, or you're going out to bars and clubs or other groups. Personally, I think meeting somebody organically is probably the best way, because the dating apps are just, it's a grind. It's numbers, just trying to get a woman to respond and then to keep them responding. I know a lot of you guys can relate to this. And unfortunately, some of you, feel like you're invisible. And that is due in large part to society and the culture and women's delusional views of themselves. And I'm going to share a couple stories on that here in a few minutes. So part of staying resilient there is remembering, realizing, accepting. You are going to go through a lot of numbers, just trying to find that needle in a needle stack. And it's not you. There isn't anything wrong with you, or maybe you're working on things that you're improving, but it's not. You're not. You're not defective, shall we say? So, but that's just the way it is. And so, but going through this process can be a little frustrating. It can be mentally fatiguing, emotionally fatiguing, and so it's something that you really have to guard against. And the best way to do that is to remember your worth and your value and all the other main priorities that you're working on in your life, be it with your career or your kids or your goals that you're working on. So, but I'll share with you. Let me share with you my first story. Okay, and this story is a great example of I shouldn't say all because it's not all, a lot of women out there who just have an inflated narcissistic sexual market value of themselves, and they have this baffling thought process, almost like they have all the time in the world and they can just wait it out or pick and choose or do what they want to do. And it's really interesting to watch because a lot of these women either don't believe in the wall that they are going to hit, or they simply don't want to accept it. And it's just astounding. So my first story is there was a lady that I have known. So I go out, I'm really into live music, and I like going to see live bands and that type of thing. I like to dance as well. And, it's a great way to meet women. So there's a woman that I've known, and at this point in the story that I'm going to share with you, I had known her about 6 or 8 months. I would see her out, part of the groups that I hang out with and that type of thing, listen to the band, dance, things like that. And over the course of time, we talked, and most of the time, and this is a key part of the story, I was not dating at the time. I was not interested in dating at the time. I simply wanted to listen to the band, drink some beers, hang out, have a good time, and then go home. And I was perfectly fine with that. And I share that because when I would see her out, she would come up to me. She would approach me. She would talk me up. And we would talk for, 20, 30 minutes and blah, 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 blah. And so I share that because a woman doesn't do that unless you would think there would be some interest there, right? Otherwise, she's going to be off talking to her girlfriends or talking to another guy. So there was that. When we would see each other out or hang out, she was very, very outgoing, attractive. I would say she's a 6, okay? I would say she's a 6. She was attractive, but in addition to that, her personality was very bubbly, outgoing, just a fun woman. A lot of us guys, they don't have to be an 8, 9, or a 10. A lot of us men, I know this is true in my case, and comment down below if you agree with this or this is your mindset. A lot of us, we just want an attractive woman that we enjoy having in our lives. She's no stress. She's not drama. She doesn't bring problems into our lives and things like that. She's a pleasure to have around, and we're physically attracted to her. It really comes down to that, simplistic 2 priorities there. So back to the story. So I would see this lady out, and we'd talk, and we'd, dance, and we'd hang out and whatever, and have a good time. And when we would, she would flirt And, oh, you look, you're so handsome and you're just a great guy and you're fun and I enjoy talking to you and all this stuff. So, as I mentioned before, for months and months, I had no interest in dating and was perfectly fine with that. It was just hanging out. So one night, she and I had happened to go out to this bar that had a great live band. I was going to see the band. I'd never seen it before. Kind of a top 40, 80s retro band. Great to dance to. And she was out there. So we ended up hanging out and, pretty much the whole night. And we danced and we just had a great time. And while we were out dancing, she is just, complimenting me and, oh, you look so sexy tonight and blah, 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 blah. Now, keep in mind, I wasn't reciprocating that. I was, oh, thank you, that's very sweet, that type of thing, because I was not interested in dating. So we took a break and we went to the bar and we're having a beer, just cooling off from dancing. And just off the cuff, I said to her, so you're an attractive professional woman. You're very fun. I mean, every time I see you, it's, we always have a good time. Why don't you have a man? And then I just listened. And she told me all I need to know. She said, I'm just too picky. I'm just too picky. And I just can't decide. And so I'm sitting there drinking my beer. And this smile came over my face because what was she really saying to me? Well, you're probably, thinking the same thing. I've known her for 6+ months at this point. So essentially what she was saying was, you don't meet my criteria. And, I was cool with that. I just said, oh, okay. But in my mind, I immediately thought that, okay, I've known you all these months. We've hung out a number of times. I obviously don't meet your expectations and your criteria. So I tell you that story because that is a lot of modern women today. You got to brush it off. You got to let it go. It had nothing to do with me. It wasn't anything that I had done wrong or, it should affect my confidence or my self-worth or anything like that. She was the example of a lot of women that are out there in the dating scene, guys. She's fairly attractive, fairly. She's not a raving beauty. She's not hot. She's attractive. A lot of what was attractive about this woman was her personality. She was cool. But in her mind, I am waiting for that unicorn. Now keep in mind, this woman's in her 50s, okay? And I run into this all the time. I don't know her exact age. I would say early 50s. Now think about that. A woman who is average in looks and is in her early 50s really is approaching things as if she's got all the time in the world and she can pick and choose and she can be picky as she said. It's just astounding. It's really astounding. And it tells you a lot. It tells you, guys, you're not the problem. You are not the problem. And so getting back to staying resilient while you're out in the dating scene is remembering these things. Look, I don't chase, I don't beg, I don't pursue, I don't simp, I don't do any of that. I will match a woman's interest and effort. And if she does not show interest, like this woman basically said, you don't meet my criteria, hey, no problem. I don't try and talk her into it. I don't try and, oh, I'm a great guy, we should date. Screw that. If you don't see it, peace out, moving on. And I don't let that door get opened again. You didn't want me before, you're not going to have me in the future. Simple as that. It's about knowing your worth. So that was the first story that I would share with you because it really illustrates how a lot of modern women way overvalue themselves. They think they have all the time in the world. They're hypergamous. They are looking for that unicorn Ken doll, for lack of a better term, who's going to come around and swoop her off her feet. This 6 on a scale of 1 to 10 is going to find this unicorn and he's going to want her. I mean, it's just utterly ridiculous. So that is true with a lot of women out there. So guys, keep that in mind. I hope that encourages you as you're on the dating apps and you're out and about and you're meeting these women. You have to go through the numbers to find a woman who is into you, and she needs to have a desire for you and show that through her effort, through her interest, through her actions, and if she's not, move on. So, which brings me to story number 2 in my dating experiences. So, in that case, I was not dating; I was just out having fun, and I'm still just kind of tipping my toe in the pool, the cesspool of dating out there these days. Because again, this is not my priority in life. It's not. I will not allow it to be. I have much better things to spend my time on. So, but I'm dipping my toe in it. And so there was another woman who, over the course of a year or so, I would go out, I would see these live bands and such, hang out with the groups that I'm in, have fun. And I met this woman and we would talk because we're both really into live music and, talk about bands and, oh, well, this band's playing next week or going to concerts and things like that. So we started to hang out, and I say hang out, we weren't dating, and I told her so. At the time, I was finishing up my divorce and told her, I'm not in a place for anything serious. I'm very much in a transitional period right now. And I just really have to keep things casual and on a friendship level. Told her that, bluntly honest. I even said to the point of, look, how women will ask you, so how do you feel, or where are you emotionally? And I literally told her, I have no idea, man. I'm just taking things day by day. I'm in this transitional period. Some of you guys can relate to this if you're going through with a similar period in your life. But I was completely honest with her, and that's what we all should do. Be completely honest, because otherwise it comes back to bite you in the ass. But I was completely honest, and I said, this is where I'm at. We can have a friendship. We can hang out. Are you cool with that? And I think we talked about this maybe twice. And she said, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. But as we all know, women hear what they want to hear, and they think what they want to think. And even though this was made crystal clear to her of the situation and that I had no idea, what I was doing next week, let alone, my quote unquote relationship with you. So over the course of a month, maybe 5 or 6 weeks, we hung out. We would, and a lot of it again revolved around live music. That's my thing. That was her thing. So we would go see bands at some of the local clubs here and hang out and have fun and that type of thing. And this woman, physically, I thought she was pretty. She was pretty. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give her probably a 4 or a 5. And some of you guys are going, oh my God, what the hell are you doing with a 4 or a 5? Well, I think it goes back to what I said earlier. A lot of men, myself included, you want a woman that is relatively attractive, but she's a pleasure to have in your life. She's fun. She brings happiness to your life. She brings joy. She doesn't bring the usual bullshit drama that, say, an 8, 9, or a 10. Hey, I've been, some of you guys have been with 9s and 10s or dated them or whatever the case may be. And you know that a lot of drama comes with those women. A lot of it is not worth the hassle. I've had 9s and 10s myself, and there's that old saying that goes, no matter how hot she is, somewhere there's a guy who's sick of her shit. And I know some of you guys are laughing right now because you're like, yep, I mean, she was great in the sack and beautiful body and all that. But shit, the rest of the time you were just thinking to yourself, God, what a fucking hassle you are. So this woman was very nice, and I had gotten to know her over the course of a year, seeing her out. I saw she never went home with anyone. She just kind of hung out with the group, and so that was cool. She wasn't a 304, and she was just cool. But over the course of a month, we hung out and we did a lot of things together, and it was fun. It was nice, but the feeling just was not there for me. I think a lot of you guys can relate to this. She was much more into me than I was into her. And emotionally, she seemed to be moving very fast with her feelings towards me, even though I had told her where I was, emotionally and stuff, and mentally, that I just wanted a friendship. And so we hung out, I want to say it was like 5 weeks. And I finally came to the point, really physically, she was kind of, again, she was pretty, she was attractive, but she was a little bit thicker than what I would like, shall we say. And I tried to overlook that, but it just, you like what you like. You like what you like. I mean, some people might comment down below and say, oh, you're an asshole, blah, blah. Well, fair enough, man. You like what you like. And it just wasn't doing it for me. And so I knew, and wanting to be completely forthright with her and honest, I said, I realized that this was not working for me, and I did not want to go any further and actually, pursue this. And so what I did was, she had gone on vacation, and I waited for her to get back, and she got back, and I sent her a text message, and it was, hey, I've enjoyed hanging out and everything, but right now I really can't do anything more than a friendship, and, I hope you understand, and, we can be friends and that type of thing. I thought it was very adult or respectful, shall we say, because I didn't ghost her, and I just sent her the text. Now, some of you guys watching might be saying, yeah, you should have called her. And I've had a couple women since then say, well, that deserved a phone call. I disagree. And here's why. The reason why I did not call her was, as with a lot of women, I knew she was going to be emotional. I knew it was going to turn into a long, drawn-out conversation. Why this and why that, and what about this and what about that? I didn't want that. I don't have to do that. It is perfectly legitimate for you or the woman at any time when you're dating to say, you know what? We've been seeing each other for a while. I don't think this is what I'm looking for. I wish you the best. Take care. That is perfectly legitimate to do. You don't owe anybody shit. I didn't owe her shit. She didn't owe me shit. So, I sent her a text and she responded and she said, okay, all right, fine. I get a text from her a week later and she says, can we talk? And I was in the middle of my workday and I texted her back and I said, about what? And she responded and she said, well, your text really threw me off last week. I would like to get some closure. Can we have a conversation? And I'm thinking to myself, closure? We hung out for a month. I mean, this wasn't some serious, long relationship, romance. We hung out for a month, which was a huge red flag to me. But I mean, that she needed. I actually shared this with my sister and a few other women friends, and they said the same thing. Closure from what? You hung out for a little while. It's just as simple as that's not what you wanted, and take care. So I didn't respond because, again, I'm not calling this woman and having this conversation. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the way I feel. Blah blah blah. The text message was fine. We're both adults. If you need more, that's on you. So that was the case. So a few weeks passed by. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks, and I was at a concert in our group or whatever, and was told that she had been telling people that I had ghosted her. When I hadn't ghosted her, I'd sent her the text. I just refused to have a conversation. There's nothing to talk about. There is no relationship. There's nothing to talk about, And this, guys, comment down below if you agree or don't agree with this. But the way I saw it was, that's typical female manipulation. Oh, I felt this way. You hurt me. Why did you do that to me? All these different things when it had been a few weeks. It hadn't been a long relationship where you're heartbroken. The fact that she was hurt or said she was hurt and was emotionally upset in that short a time, quite frankly, was a red flag. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm really dodging a bullet, which I did, because since then, I've seen her 2 other times, and both times she has pulled me aside and I got a lecture about how I should not have put myself out there if I wasn't emotionally ready and all this stuff. Now, I gently reminded her what I told her when we first initially started hanging out. I am just looking for a friendship. I am not looking for anything serious. I'm in a transitional point in my life. I've got other things I'm focused on. That is what she was told. And I asked her, are you fine with that? Because if you're not, it's okay. But if you want to hang out, that's where I'm at. She said, okay, I want to hang out with you. So her continuing to tell me, oh, you hurt me, and oh, did you do it on purpose? I'm wondering if you did it maliciously on purpose. Why the hell would I do it on purpose? I mean, this is some of the shit that you have to deal with some of these women. My point, so this happened 2 other times, and those 2 other times confirmed for me, I dodged the bullet. This woman has emotional damage, shall we say. And I mean, can you imagine if I had gotten into a real relationship with her and it went on longer? I mean, it would, good God. I mean, she's got future stalker written all over her. So, so I've been nice and I've been respectful to her each time, but I just have come away thinking, oh my God, I really dodged the bullet. And my gut feeling, which, guys, don't ever ignore your gut feeling. The gut feelings are on spot, that they are spot on. So I made the right decision to tell her, yeah, this is not for me, and take care. But I'm sharing this second story with you because it ties in with being a resilient man in the dating scene. You're going to go through disappointments. You're going to, one of her questions, well, why did you start hanging out with me and blah, blah, blah. Well, look, part of the dating process is to determine, am I into this person? Do I really want to spend time with them? And it is perfectly, again, it's perfectly legitimate for you to determine, you know what, actually I don't, and I'm going to move on. And that's why I share with you from a resiliency standpoint and being resilient in your dating. And also, too, as a sidebar, that's why you should be spinning plates and dating multiple women if you can, because it helps you, yeah, the cream rises to the top, as they say. So, but from a resiliency standpoint, this is something that I wanted to share with you guys today as well, because, you know, it can get a little frustrating. I mean, the first story I told you, some women, you are never going to meet their expectations and their quote unquote standards. They're delusional in their sexual market value. And then you have the other women who emotionally, unhealthy, shall we say, and cling and are desperate. You got to watch out for those too, because you're inviting a huge problem into your life if you allow it. Can't allow it. So those are a couple things I wanted to share today. Comment down below. I like reading your comments, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your funny dating, experiences and how you're staying resilient. Because look, I said on this channel before, Resilient Man channel is not about hating women. It's not about, anything like that. I love women. I know some wonderful women in my life. And I would like to find, even though I have been put through the grist mill in my life, in my dealings for women, with women, I still want one. As crazy as that sounds, I still want one. I still would like companionship within my parameters and my boundaries. I will never marry again. I will never live with anybody. But it would be nice to have that companionship. I know a lot of you guys out there feel the same, and there's nothing wrong with that. Being black pill or whatever they call it is not the answer. It's not. Being alone is not what we're meant to be. We're meant to have companionship. We're meant to have love. And you should have it too. You deserve it. So that's what I would share today, guys. I hope this has encouraged you. I hope it has helped you be a little bit more resilient and maybe put things into perspective when it comes to your dating experience and scene. Like and comment down below, please. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Remember, know your worth. Protect your peace.